Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to RBT, Rashid's Video 2, and I am Rashid, the R-Man. Located on social media, associated with RMJC, located on social media, YouTube, and Google, and Twitter, and Facebook, What's going on, guys? Welcome to another picture up. Maybe I should start saying a date on these things. You think like 2/28/2020? Is the 28th? Is that late? Wow, it's really late. I'm late for a very important date. There's a colonial virus here. Meet me here at 12 o'clock, and I'm late. Objectified. I had to get some more sugar for my morning tea. So, forgive me for that, but I'm back. Y'all was listening to that? Oh, I'm sorry. Here you go. Oh, y'all see y'all not interested after all? Okay, then I'm back. Anyway, okay, what you see before you is a topic on RBT that I think I want to discuss, and that is mushrooms. We wasn't going to do this, right, sweetie? What made us do it? I mean, like, we just decided to go through with this thing here, and y'all notice that on RBT I have a fascination with mushrooms. I just have a fascination with mushrooms, guys. I just like them. Not only do they taste good on pizza and stromboli, right, and goulash, and solids, but they're fun to draw because you can really create with them. Well, we'll get into that later. You can add colors to them. They're like pieces of paper, so they're really exciting to mess around with. And y'all know here at RBT, y'all see a lot of mushrooms, different kind of mushrooms. On the picture y'all seeing is my latest one that sometimes I do picture up with. sometimes. Yeah, I like it. And never, we never sit and just talk about one thing around here. We always bouncing from this, that, and the other. So I feel as though I want to come on here and just talk about something simple like mushrooms. I mean, just mushrooms, guys. Just with a little bit of this added in it, with this spirituality kind of thing, with a little bit of this added in it. I mean, you can't miss with something just interesting almost. Like, listen.
God has a dream for your life. Joseph was 17 years old when God gave him a world-changing dream. God has a dream for every person under the sound of my voice. God has a dream for your life. Sometimes we think if we're not a Richard Branson who started Virgin Airlines, or Steve Jobs, or Bill Gates, or Dr. Martin Luther King, that it's not some massive, huge dream, that our dream doesn't matter to God. But the dream that you have for a business, for a college education, for your children, for maybe you're a housewife and you're pouring your life into your child, and your dream is that your child would be great. That's a good, godly dream, and God cares about your dream. God has a dream for your life today. God has a dream for your life.
This is interesting stuff, to just listen to this stuff. Very encouraging words. Now, I don't want to get too philosophical. I really don't. But, and I hate to be the one that say, I told you so. Y'all know that also. But we told you so. We told you things was going to get worse, didn't we? And again, around here, we're celebrating because we believe that this is the Great Tribulation starting. Now, some people say that this disease is from God. That this disease is from God. I don't think this is from God. I don't think this is from God. In my opinion, it's not from God. The reason why is because if it was from God, He would have said He was going to bring diseases upon the heaven and earth. When Jesus said there will be great pestilence and things like that, and diseases in the land, on the Mountain of Olives, He never said God is going to do it. This right here, I don't classify is in that class of Jesus saying there'll be great earthquakes and there will be food shortages and there'll be pestilence, there'll be disease, and I don't think this is part of that. I do believe that this is part of the end of the world. This is part of the Great Tribulation. That's what we believe, right? That's what we believe. Let me explain. If God was going to do that during the Great Tribulation, bring diseases like this, it would have been noted. Especially in the four bowls of God's anger. And then God will strike the earth with pestilence and a disease. There's no such thing as that. There's no such thing as that. That's why I believe it's not God. And number two, because God would have said He was going to bring about famine. God did not say that. See, God told Lot He was going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. God told Noah He was going to destroy the world of Noah with a deluge of water. It was specific, you see. God said He's going to destroy this world specifically. He didn't say what disease. That's how it's not God. Another reason why it's not God is because the Bible said at that time of Armageddon that man will become faint out of fear about the things coming upon the heaven and earth. This can be one of those faint out of fear moments right here. It can be. I don't know. I can't call it. We can't call it around here, sweetie. But yet and still, God specifically said man will become faint out of fear by the things coming upon than heaven and earth. So this thing right here, this disease, is not even the start of it. And man is not even nowhere near being faint out of fear. In fact, he's talking about we'll have a cure within a year. So these things that's going to come upon the heaven and earth is going to be very, very powerful things. That's going to make a man faint and run up into the hills and beg the rocks to fall over top of them, dude. So these diseases here is not it. But yet and still, it could be part or the start of it. That's what I believe. That's what we believe. But it's not by God. There's no way it's by God. You see. Jesus never talked about God doing anything like this, during Armageddon, or any kind of punishment whatsoever like this for mankind. He said, the moon will turn to blood, the stars shall fall from the sky, and the heavens will pass away. He said everything, but he never said he was going to strike humans the way he struck humans in the days of Noah and Lot. He never said he was going to do that. That's going to all be done with in Armageddon. You see. Nothing single out like this. Like this could be like a plague in the Egyptian days when Moses and Aaron visit Pharaoh. This could be one of those things right here. Nowhere in the Bible says in these last days that he's going to strike mankind like that. There's nowhere. So that's another. That's the reason why it can't be from God. And plus, on top of that, nothing bad like this will come from God. Armageddon is going to be done fairly, all the way through. If you remember the book of Revelation, it's a devastating book, but Armageddon is going to be done fairly. It's not going to be done unfairly. It's going to be done fairly. See, they're going to come after God's people, and that's where Armageddon going to start. It ain't like God didn't say he was going to come after people like with a disease like this, then Armageddon is going to start. He didn't say that. He can't come. Armageddon cannot start until they focus on God's people and come and go after God's people. That's when Armageddon is going to kick off. Because then the Bible says angels shall flare up in God's nostrils, you see. So this disease ain't got nothing to do with none of that. This is just part of the great tribulation of things coming upon the heaven and earth. I do believe that. But I don't believe it's from God. That's just my opinion about it. Maybe somebody may beg to differ, but that's that. It's funny about that. You always hear about what they say. They say, they will deliver you up to be killed, but prove yourselves faithful to death, and I will give you the crown of life. They always talk about stuff, in the Bible it says that, but it's funny how man brings that out. How they going to deliver you up, and you will be killed. But they never talk about, I'm addressing on the colony, but they never talk about the real deal about that, about how the world is going to go after God's people. They never talk about it. Nobody, that's another thing that spiritual people never talk about, how the world is going to turn on God's people. How the whole world, they always talk about the Antichrist coming. They always talk about the mark of the wild beast. They always talk about all of these things, but they never talk about the real deal about all of that, and that's the world coming after God's people, like Pharaoh and Egypt and the Israelites crossing the Red Sea. They never talk about the mark of, they always talk about the mark of the wild beast, how everybody's going to be in it but God's people. And they're going to tell the authorities, there's a group of people here on the planet Earth that's not with us. People never talk about that, and yet that's the highlight, the high point of Armageddon starting. It's like man's scared to talk about that. He talks about the wild beast. He talks about the Antichrist coming. He talks about how the Antichrist is going to do this, do that, the false prophet. Man talks about everything but the real deal of people pointing their finger, saying, look at those people over there. They're not doing what we're doing. And they don't have the mark of the wild beast. And they're not doing what we're doing. And this is going to upset the government so much. And the whole world is going to come after God's people, and that's going to start Armageddon. Nobody ever talks about that, and yet it's right there. It's the main hype in the book of Revelation. Nobody ever talks about that. I guess it's scary, huh, to have the world coming after you and everything. Yeah, it is pretty, when you think about it, it is pretty scary. So, yeah, just like the other things, God's kingdom crushing this kingdom, that's scary too. All of these things people just don't talk about. You never talk about the meat of God's word. How all these people going to say, there's some group of people here that's not doing what we doing. And they looking better, and they smiling, and they laughing, and they happy. And the government going to say, who dare going to go against what we put here, what we established here, what we got here? Who's going to go against this? Those people right over there. And the whole earth going to highlight these people. Who are these people right here? Who not listening, who's doing something different than what we're doing, who's speaking different than the way we speak, who's acting different than the way we act. We even got religious people with us. But these group of people ain't even looking at it. They ain't paying attention. Nobody ever talks about that, and that's the start of Armageddon. And nobody spiritual ever talks. You talk about some disease? This is just the start, boy! This is just a start, you see. This is just a start. We ain't even start yet. Nobody ever talks about the real shit. They always talk about the bullshit. Not the bullshit, but the... Everybody always walking around the crust of God's word. Nobody ever talking about the real stuff. The disease. The disease. That's the least of your problems. What's great happening around here? A disease. You want to say something, baby? Here. Say something, girl. Say something, girl. Say something, girl. Say something, girl. Go ahead. Say your thing. She ain't gonna say that. You want to job one more time? Come on. What, you want some of this? What? Look. You want some? What is a girl? What is a girl? You want this? This what you want? You want it? Here. She likes drinking my morning tea with me. Everything I eat, everything I drink, she got to do the same fucking thing. I swear to God. I mean, this dog like Scooby-Doo and Shaggy. We don't give a fuck. Dogs ain't supposed to eat chocolate every fuck. She don't give a fuck. Oh, God. Dogs ain't supposed to eat that. Have you met my dog, dude? My dog is a female Scooby-Doo. We eat every fucking thing together. Every goddamn fuck.
You got the dream. Don't lose your dream. For yourself, for your future, for your family, dreams of love and enterprise, travel.
I swear, man. So, it's just amazing how that is, you know. And nobody talk about the people gonna come after God's people. I remember it was me and some brother driving in a car. I was a Jehovah's Witness. I was a Christian around that time. We was driving in a car. And we was driving back from, here's some more. We was driving back from, I think, field service or something like that. And one day he asked me, because everybody knows something about Rashid. You know, everybody knows something about me. So one day he asked me, he said, Rashid, you act like you ain't scared. He said, you ain't scared? This was what he asked me. He said, you ain't scared? So I said to him, no, I'm not scared. I said, what to be scared of? He said, look around. See these people going Armageddon. They're going to be coming after us. Don't that make you scared? I bust out laughing. I laughed so fucking hard because he's right. He said, you know, during Armageddon, these people, and it was summertime. It was people all over the place. We was driving down, in Philly, we was driving down Chestnut Street. It's a big street. And we was already in Southwest Philly. Driving down, you know. It's a huge street, you know, one of them huge streets with people all over the place. And he was like, you ain't scared these people coming after you when they find out when Armageddon coming in. And I started laughing. I was going, yeah, that's true, that's going to happen, but I'm not scared about it. But dude, I looked at his face was just so frightening. He was scared to death, man. And you know, I understand what he was talking about. And yes, it is something that's a bit of a fight if you think about it. But no, I told him no, I wasn't scared. And that's something that's highlighted in the book of Revelation. It's very powerful. That's going to happen right before Armageddon. More so than the scripture that says, and they will deliver you up, and they will kill you, and they might. No, all of that is true. But still, the high point of Revelation, nobody ever talks about how everybody gonna look at this one group of people on the planet Earth and say these people are different from us. And not only are they different from us, they're happy, and they have all of this stuff on their land where they at, wherever their group, and they're happy. And this is gonna upset the main government officials, who's the leader of the wild beast. Is going to upset everybody that these group of people are not with the world. Then they're going to come after those people like the Egyptians came after the Israelites crossing the Red Sea. And at that, just like the Israelites made it and the Red Sea closed, that's going to start Armageddon. Because God says, then anger will flare up in his nostrils. And he compared it to, they'll be like touching my eyeball. Now that's what God said. The day they do that, it's going to be like them touching my eyeball. It's going to be like them touching God's eyeball. And that's all in the book of Revelation. And nobody talks about it. Nobody ever talks about that. That's the start of Armageddon. But for right now, you don't see that, don't paying attention. Right now, people are just worried about this disease and everything, But it's going to be a time when, who are these people right here that's not with us? This is the whole world. They're going to notice a group of people who's doing what they usually do, and they're living a better life than everybody. And that is going to start Armageddon. And it's in the book of Revelation. And nobody ever talks about that. They so quick to talk about the wild beast. You will get selling and don't sell it and buy this and can't buy that. Nobody's talking about the main thick of Armageddon. The minute these people in the world come after God's people, it's going to be the same as them touching God's eyeball. And this is going to start Armageddon. It's going to be a disastrous period. So yeah, it's just amazing how nobody ever pays attention to that. Everybody always talk about the pie, the this. Nobody ever talk about the real stuff of God's word. Nobody ever.
And I would say this: it was a lack of knowledge on their part. At best, it's a misdirection. At worst, it's deliberate. I'm going to read something here, and I want you to comment because you taught this for quite some time, some years ago. Okay, I'm going to read this, and I want you to comment on it. Well, all Joseph and Dave as well, please. A large part of the charismatic segment of the church actually repudiates.
Don't be nervous, guys. We need to be alarmed, no doubt about it. Because we don't know how bad this is going to get, man. It's like, here we go. We all on this roller coaster. And we're steady going up. Now, this roller coaster all of a sudden can make a turn. And we can say, thank goodness it missed us. Kind of like that hurricane, was about to hit Florida. And all these Florida people was doing all this shit. Next you know, it's like, oh, thank God it didn't hit. It may be like, so just brace yourself. We don't know what's going to happen yet, guys. Until it happens. Until it really happens. That's my advice. Don't count your chickens before. Don't jump to conclusions. Yeah, that's what Sadiq specializes. Don't jump to conclusions. Personally, Rashid's personal thing here. My personal opinion. This means opinion only Sadiq's hands. Yes, this is our opinion. It's just amazing. Don't get offended. But it's just amazing how everybody, like, just say this coronavirus gets out of hand. Answer me a question. Just answer me a question. How will we find out? Just how will we find out? Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. That's amazing. That's amazing, man. We talk about fake news? Did Trump talk about? You talk about that? The President of the United States said it's fake. Is that what he said? So, before this catastrophe hit, how do we know when this article, how will we know? That's amazing how we just waiting for, all eyes are on this system that people, the president said it's fake. This is the leader of the United States. We actually relying on this crookedness of this to say if things in life gets out of hand. You gonna put your life in their hands like that? That's what you're gonna do? I mean, if you don't believe in a God, Allah or whatever, I can understand it. But you spiritual people out there, you really gonna do that? You really gonna, knowing that they could tell you any, I mean, think about it. I mean, we getting fucked around. We ain't got nothing. They fucked us up, dude. The media, I mean, it's no more good movies no more. No, it's no more. It's no more. It's no more. It's nothing. They fucked us up.
Indicates he was a sacrifice for sin and transformed that into Christ actually becoming a sinner. Then, defeated, he's taken down to hell, where for 3 days.
But here's the thing. If you think about it, you're putting your trust in order. Right now, society is in order. Right now, society is in order. Right now, we understand it. It gets out of order when these news people tell us something. Who else are we going to trust? Who else are we going to look towards? We have no choice. But yet and still, have you thought about that? I understand that's reality. That's the truth. The answer is yes, Rashid, we got to do it. Okay, I understand it. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. But have y'all ever thought about this shit? Have y'all ever thought about that?
Was the resurrection. That's why they point to the resurrection as the victory and not the cross.
I'm going to listen and I'm going to hear. But I'm going to stick to my own judgment. I'm sorry. If I catch it and die, so be it. But I'm going to stick to because I ain't a sucker, I ain't a sucker, and I've been sucking my whole life, and that's why I got this mouth the way I have it now, because we've been sucking we've been sucking so much in our life. We're not gonna get suckered again, dude. And that Florida fucking incident and all of that bullshit, I'm not forgetting none of that. They fucking with us. And now something big like this, you're going to throw all your, okay, I'm going to listen to every fucking, we good. Yeah, we good around here. We're good. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying this, that, and the other. But I'm not saying we're not worrying like everybody else either. I'm definitely not saying that. All I'm saying is we good. Because see, like we told you from the start, we told y'all about a year ago, we told you guys that we believe this Armageddon, we're on the promised land, and we're going to see stuff all around us. So what? What? Think about it. This Rashid talking now. This Father Rashid. Now,
regard to sickness and other things. Well, don't say that, I'm feeling sick, even if you are, because that will produce.
Not being selfish, mind you. Sadisi ain't being selfish, mind you. But we told you all this shit was going to happen, right? Right or wrong? They're not, look, I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. Even if all of it is a goddamn lie. Even if all of it is a goddamn lie. A big lie. Look at the panic going on right now. It's still disturbing. Now, before any of this shit, what did I say on RVT, guys? Do you remember?
It's not a peace that passes all understanding. It's not a hope and a joy. It's not a true fruit of.
That's why I said we're good. I think we know what we're doing here. We're good. Yeah, we're good. We'll be alright. We'll be alright. That's all I'm saying around here. We'll be just fine. We ain't falling for them. No. We ain't falling for shit. We ain't falling for shit, man. Ain't gonna interrupt my peace in my damn house. Now, I'm not saying I'm not upset. I'm not saying it's not on my mind. I'm not saying I'm not worried. It's not what I'm saying. But as it's our DC and our spiritual beliefs, when Scheisse Grade started, we have to know what's going on around here. And we've been saying this for years on social media. We believe this is Armageddon and everybody's in hell suffering. And we around our compound are safe. We've been saying that. That's what we believe, basically. That's our basic belief. So how do you think we think about how we feel? Do we rejoicing around here? We're rejoicing. Because if we didn't see anything, that's what I'm saying, we'll lose our damn mind around here. We better see some world content around here, or we wasting our time. And Rashid don't waste his damn time. That's just our belief about it. That's just our belief about it. And, that's just our belief about this shit. We be alright. We be good around here. I will make sure that we alright. In fact, we just fucking fine. We just fucking fine around here.
He is not a loser. He is not defeated on the cross. He is not dragged down to hell.
And listen to my words. It's gonna get even worse. I'm telling you, it's gonna get worse. Because we believe that this is Armageddon starting. It's gonna get worse. I'm not saying this, like I told you, this can't be God doing this. If it's anything, it's part of the things coming upon the inhabited earth. It's gonna make man get fainted and faint out of fear. If there's anything. How do I know that? Because you're not putting yourself in Chinese people places. Before all of this virus shit, these people were living like Americans almost. Basically, every country is living like an American. Basically, they may have the areas where they're communist and all this bullshit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. Basically, they living like Americans. They have the restaurants we have. They have the freedom to go out to clubs as we have. They even have some beer that we have. They act crazy just like Americans. Basically, now with age, because times change, To go from that to being isolated in your house or apartment could be so frightening for some Chinese people. Guess what they'll do? They'll faint out of fear, right? Now, man will become faint out of fear about the things coming upon the heaven and earth. Do you see it now? Now here in America, or here in Iraq, or wherever, there's no faint out of fear. There's no faint out of fear. What about over there? Can you see faint out of fear if it happened over there? About all of a sudden living like just as good as Americans, and all of a sudden all the streets are clear and all the shit virus. You can't see yourself waking up and fainting out of fear about things. How you know? Would you become faint out of fear? There's a lot of questions involved with this virus. So far, it touched base with every continent so far that's gone. But answer me a question. Answer me a question, dude. Answer me a serious question. How come this virus ain't hit Africa? I don't know. It's just for some reason everybody. You ever spill something on the floor? and you're walking around on the floor and you ignoring it or drop something on the floor, you say, somebody else will pick it up. I'm not going to pick that up. Somebody else is going to do it. So you spend a whole day or hours walking around that object or stepping over there. How come everybody doing that with Africa? Just a simple question. See, this is the shit I'm talking about. It even hit Iraq. It hit Iraq. It hit all over France. I mean, like, I don't think it hit the Netherlands. I think it hit the Netherlands. I don't know. But it's just amazing how it's hitting everywhere. And the thing about that is, here's the thing about that, is that they're the main continents that people travel to. Africa is part of the main continent. Now, you may say, okay, what about Belgium? Then you'll say, oh, I understand why they hit Belgium, because that's I don't know what they sell a trade in Belgium. I don't know, this, that, or a place like, I don't know, I'm just guessing, Indonesia, some shit, I don't know. You can understand, okay, that place right there. Africa is a mainstream for trade. How come there's no cases in Africa whatsoever? I mean, Africa is just smooth. It even hit America. But you don't hear one case in Africa. You don't hear, like, nothing. It's like Africa is just, South Africa, especially South Africa, is connected to America. It's big trade between America and South America. South Africa and South America. It's big. There's nothing, no cases whatsoever? That's what you're telling me? How come Africa is unaffected by Iraq is affected before America? Africa? Iraq is affected before Africa. That's what's going on here, dude? How do you figure? You mean Iraq is affected and South Africa is not affected, dude? And America is affected? What kind of shit, what kind of fucking Africa is like untainted whatsoever? Have you ever thought about that? Is anybody thinking about these things? See, this is why we'll be okay. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying this, that, and the other, but it's a lot of things that's going on here, guys. There's a lot of shit going on here. Now, come the fuck on, dude. Come the fuck on. It's even in Japan, for Christ's sake. And Africa is absolutely nothing. Okay, alright. Okay, man. Okay. Alright. Alright. We can't, if there's no reports, then there's no reports. Fuck it, Nah, we're good. We're alright. Yeah, that's us. We alright. We alright. We'll be alright. We'll be alright. We'll be just fine.
So many of you watching, you love the singing of Martha Ford. I know I do. She's one of my favorite singers. We're very proud to offer her brand new music CD entitled If Not For Grace. And if you haven't heard the CD yet, believe me.
Well, I said a long time we fucked because they playing games with us. Everybody playing games. They started with the Hollywood movies. They offer Hollywood movies now. They offer fucking us over with Star Wars. Now they professional now. Now they doing professional shit. Fuck with everybody with Star Wars. They fucking around with some professional shit now. Fuck the Star Wars shit. We getting professional with stuff. So, you gotta expect these things. It's just part of the way things are. That's just the way it is, man. But we good. Yeah. If you're gonna believe something, then believe something. Don't believe it halfway or question every aspect of the situation. Now, I understand there's a lot of things they're not telling us because this and that. Quite frankly, I don't want to know what they are. They don't want to create a state worldwide panic. I understand it, and I agree. And on top of that, I don't want to know what they are. But you do have to admit some things are just pretty insane to believe. It's like, come the fuck on, man. Come the fuck on. The highest diseases is in Africa. How the fuck? No, I ain't even gonna get into it. I'm not even gonna get the fuck out of here.
Learning how to be changed by the power of God through faith in the cross. That comes first. You are prospering in your.
No, we alright. We good. We don't need to. Yeah, we alright. We just got our eyes on shit because this might be a Florida incident. Hey, all of a sudden it just stopped. Hey, check this out. It just stopped. It better not stop. They say it's going to take 10 years for a vaccine, right? To make a vaccine, it's going to take a year. It's going to take a year and a half to make a vaccine, right? Okay, so if it just stopped, then what? The people that have it going to die, and then we're going to have to worry about it no more? The quarantine people going to just die. The quarantine people going to just die and then stop. They're going to stop like that. Well, it's going to stop with, since they ain't got a vaccine, the people that have it, it's going to just disappear inside their body. How it's going to stop? What the fuck you mean it's going to stop? What are you talking about? So the people that have it, since there's no vaccine no more, you can't, alright, it ain't going to stop that way by man. So it's going to stop where they're going to die, or the virus is going to just disappear inside their body. That's how it's going to stop. That's our only two choices. Okay, we got to see how this unfolds. This should be interesting to see. This is going to be interesting to see. It's going to stop because the people are going to die, or the virus is going to just fade away like a cold inside their body. That should be interesting to look at. No, we alright. We alright. We're going to just sit back and watch everything and hope for the best, you know. That mushroom on the screen, this is what it says about that mushroom on the screen. This is a picture up about my mushrooms, damn it. A mushroom or a toadstool. They call it a toadstool. A toadstool. That's T-O-A-D, toad, S-T-O-O-L, stool, together. A mushroom or toadstool is the fleshly, spore-bearing, fruiting body of a fungus. It's just amazing how a mushroom is a fungus. It's a fungus, dude. It's a goddamn fungus. Typically produced above ground on soil or on its food source. The standard for the name mushroom is the cultivated white button mushroom. I guess that's what y'all see there, like a white button. Or Agaricus bisporus. Agaricus bisporus. Hence the word mushroom is most often applied to those fungi that have a stem, a cap, and gills. Namely, sing on the underside of the cap. Mushroom also describes a variety of other gilled fungi with or without stems. Therefore, the term is used to describe the fleshly fruiting bodies of some Ascomycota. That's Ascomycota. Ascomycota. Sounds Indian. These gills produce microscopic spores that help the fungus spread across the ground or its occupant surface. That's odd. That's amazing how they are meant to just spread out also. So that's the weakest thing about the mushroom. Because this picture up, we're talking about the mushroom and its strangeness. I just like mushrooms. I just think they're mysterious.
They're going to try to get as much out of you as they can.
And I wanted something for us to talk about.
Where is it hurting? That's simple. Medicine. So, again, when Jesus, the Bible says when he saves us, we are saved. When he heals us.
Something different on here instead of running, something calm, stick to one subject, and basic and mature, and most important, decent. What could be more decent than the fungi mushroom, the white button mushroom? Yeah, the white button mushroom is the common one. What could be more subtle? What could be more relaxing than looking at the white button mushroom? What could be more subtle? Something we could talk about around here that's just subtle, just something that's... Oh, God,
I've never heard you mention the cross. This is a newspaper report, and they're not too often given over to godliness. But he said, I've noticed you never mentioned the cross. And the answer was, oh, yes, we believe in the cross, but no, I will never mention it. Well, why? He said, because it may offend people. When I read that, I thought of the words of the Apostle Paul.
I had the acid mushrooms before the drug mushroom. I had that. It was really freaky, dude. Really fucking freaky. It's hard to get nowadays, though. I guess unless you go to an herbal store, I guess you can secretly get some. That's some freaky tripping there. Haven't had some for years. The last time I had some, I was dating my wife. I was dating Maria. I was dating my ex-wife. This is before we got married. This is the last time I had some of that freaky mushroom thing. It's been that long. I was in my 20s. I was in my early 20s. I ain't have none since that. They're not common. You can't get any of that common, But it's some freaky shit. I ain't gonna lie about that. And you do go looking for more when you come down off that shit. You do go looking for more. I won't go that far and say it's addictive. I won't go that far and say like that, like one hit, like crack, and you go, but nah, I wouldn't go that far. But they do have a certain taste to them. And it's just a trippy effect when you eat them. It's a very trippy effect. And it's hard to believe that those mushrooms are hard to get. I mean, they're very difficult to get. You think they'd be common. I guess it's not that hard to believe when you think about something like that. Well, how are you going to grow it? It's not like you're growing marijuana, for Christ's sake. How are you going to grow the shit? I'm just a mushroom fan. We're more fans of creating them and talking about them more than just eating them. Yeah.
Preachers who love the Lord and are trying to obey the Word of God. This is where most today fall into. They preach the cross for salvation, and as I said a moment ago, thank God for that. That's true. That's right. That's the way.
It's amazing how, if you're a spiritual person and you're walking around right now seeing what's going on, and you still avoiding coming to the Lord. I mean, you've got to be so brave, knowing that you're deliberately doing it and thinking, okay, you're going to do it. And when you do it, you really think God going to take you. You really think the Lord going to say, okay, now you ready? Okay, come on, let's go. You really think so. And people really think so. They really think it's going to be that way. I mean, it's just like you seeing what's going on. God is shaking up everything. He's shaking this place up from head to toe, and people still are not talking about the end of creation or God's kingdom. I mean, it's just amazing. The boldness of man itself is staggering. Like, wow, you could see Pharaoh in everybody, the stubbornness, like all of the plagues, and Pharaoh still said no. I mean, this is just a crazy. I guess it never said. Well, it says some people are going to come, some Christians going to come, not the world. The scripture says some Christians are going to come and say, Lord, Lord, did we not do this? Did we not do that? And God will confess to them, I never knew you. Get away from me. And assign on their position with the wicked ones. You see, a lot of Christians going to come. How a worldly person going to come and say, didn't I do this, didn't I do that? A worldly person didn't do anything. You see? So that's a giveaway right there. So only spiritual people going to come and say that, not the world. It's impossible. The world can't come and say, didn't they do this and expel demons and all this stuff? Only spiritual people can say that. So only spiritual people will come and do that. And say, didn't I, didn't I, didn't I? Only spiritual people can do that. You see the stubbornness in, all the plagues, and Pharaoh still said no. You see it all around. I mean, you're seeing God just shake this place up. And still, yeah, we'll be alright. It'll pass. People are hoping this will pass. They hoping so fucking hard, dude. They say this is going to pass. This ain't going to stay. This is just, And guess what? They might be absolutely right. Like that Florida hurricane bullshit. They might be absolutely right. And if they're right, imagine the confidence that's going to overshadow this whole world when the catastrophe hit. It's going to be like, so what? We overcame that. It's going to be like almost impossible for them to see Jesus if he come for real. Impossible. Almost more impossible than it is now. Because now it's like that, but when this get overthrew, this virus shit, it's going to be immensely impossible for people to see Christ if he come for real. It's gonna take a miracle for people to say, okay, I confess, because they're gonna get killed anyway. It's like Jesus gonna say, okay, come on, you know. But it's just amazing how people's pride is gonna blow up and become brick hard when this virus shit passes. If we survive, if it don't do anything, but one thing's for sure when that happens. One thing's for sure is that how many people still die. Right, people still die from it. And they're not even going to look at that. They're going to just say, we kicked his ass, we survived it. They're not even going to look at how many people's lives were lost. I tell you that right off the... They ain't even going to fucking look at it. Ain't even going to fucking look at it. You can't make nobody believe a catastrophe is hitting when in their heart they say they're going to just fix everything when the time comes. They'll fix everything. Everything will be alright. Kind of like Lot's wife. Everything will be alright. Everything is just alright. We've been through the Black Plague before, all that shit. We've been through the Spanish flu. Remember the Spanish flu? We've been through everything will be alright. It's alright. But is it really alright? We don't know. We really don't know. And yet everybody's freaking out about it. And if you're a spiritual person, I can see you being concerned like everybody else because you're human. But at the same time, you shouldn't be surprised. It's going to get worse than this. I'm Rashid. I'm telling y'all it's going to get worse than this. Like I said, I'm not going to be the one that say I told y'all, so I told y'all. I ain't going to say that. You're going to hear me say that. And what I am telling you, it's going to get worse than this. And watch this see. Because we believe that this is Armageddon starting. And this is time for God's kingdom because we see change. You come out and say, we're going to come out with a vaccine, it's going to take us a year and a half, about a year and a half. I mean, oh my God. I heard they had a vaccine already. Yeah, we heard they had something already. Now they're saying it's going to, see what I'm talking about? The games. Why people don't come out and talk about these things? You know what life used to have? This is what life used to have. You ever see Ghostbusters? Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters with Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, and so forth. The original Ghostbusters. They had a guy on there. There was a fucking prick. He was a goddamn prick. And his main goal was everything the Ghostbusters say, he was trying to denounce it and prove that they're fake. That's the guy Bill Murray saying, that's true, this man has no dick. It's that guy. He was a fucking prick. He the one who walked in their compound and told the police, shut this off, shut all this off. And they released all the ghosts up in New York City. You remember that. Life used to have, you know why they put him in the movie? Because life used to have somebody like that. You see that woman who's following the president around? There were people like that for real. But instead of coming after the president himself or whoever, they would listen to what he said and overturn what was being said. You understand? It was once a time when those people walked around all over the place. When you say something, they will overturn what you're saying and denounce you as being fake, fraud, or lie. Where are they right now? Could you imagine if one of them was walking around right now when everything is being said about everything? Could you imagine? But yet and still, for some strange reason, you see not one of them kind of people walking around. Not fucking one. But in the 80s, they was all over the fucking place. All over the place. But now you see not one. Could you imagine if one was around today? How the hell it's going to take a year and a half to make a vaccine when they supposed to made a vaccine and heal people? And this healing the disease they said it came back. But they still they made a vaccine that's supposed to heal. And how they said make it now, you got two things going on in the media. Two things. Not one person is going to come up and talk about those two things. Not one person. They supposed to have made a vaccine already. Or something. And now on this hand, he's saying it's going to take a year and a half. Now what's going on right here? Not one person going to do that. Not one. Going to come out and talk about that. If you're going to have a life-altering experience, such as wearing a mask, watching where you go, and all of this shit, don't you think something like that should be talked about before you jump and start acting like a chicken with your head chopped off? Now, how come nobody doing it? What, you scared? Is that it? Scared? See, you may think Rashid is hard. Rashid uses words that people don't. He's kind of hard and belligerent and all this shit, but you're not paying attention to the situation. This is not the time to be a fucking college graduate. You're not paying attention to the fact that people are dying and getting affected. Now they're saying somebody got affected and they don't know how. This bitch ain't never go nowhere. Do you think this is a time to talk proper? Do you think this is a time to use certain words to impress? See, oh God. But yet and still, I guess so. Because you know what? Rashid talks in a way that's unsuitable. You know, stay just like that and fuck every goddamn thing. How about that? Because they're not paying attention to what's going on here. Either they're not paying attention or they're not taking it serious. I don't know. You decide. I don't give a fuck about. I don't know what to do, just like the next person. All we have around here are our beliefs, like the next person. So, I can't give out no answers. I could go on and say, okay, Sadixis, we're going to continue to rejoice. I could say that. But that'll be unselfish. That'll be kind of selfish for me to say. You know. Hey. People actually laughing at spirituality still. They just like Pharaoh's kids. I mean, I'll tell you, they're actually making jokes about it. Like, ha ha, like, praise y'all, this is the end. This is, I mean, and yet and still, what if it was, yeah, that's what I'm saying. What if that was legit? What if that was the real deal? Remember I told you guys on the colony, that we're looking at people in the rain, and the people got the arms out, and they just say, oh, look, it's raining out here. And I said, that's exactly how Sadducees are looking at people. Didn't I say that? Everybody got their arms wide open, go, oh, look, it's raining. Oh, look at this. I said, wait till it start raining hard. Now, here's the question. Is it raining harder now? Is it raining harder now? Yet and still, giving it a benefit of doubt, the rain might slack up. God forbid if the rain start raining harder. What I'm trying to say is, I believe that this coronavirus is going to fade. It's still going to be here, but it's going to fade because we're going to have something more worse that's going to just come out of nowhere. And who knows what that could be. That's just what I believe. Because this is Armageddon. Then we're going to have the coronavirus and something else. But I don't think it's going to stay on the corona. No, I don't think it's going to stay on the coronavirus. I'm not going to, because I don't think that's enough that's not going to get people worried. I don't think that's going to get people worried. But you have to admit that being on a crowded subway, bus, or trolley cart right now, the fear to be in that right now could be devastating. To be in a crowded place right now. You'll be thinking all kind of shit right now. It's very difficult. It's very, very difficult to do that, to be amongst ones like that. When y'all hear this shit, y'all probably thinking, listen to this bullshit, But what if one day that'll be the only words you want to hear right here? Right now you're taking it for granted. You know what the Bible say? The Bible says, seek God while he may be found. Did you know that? It does. Because God knew that one day people going to actually search for God and he's not going to be nowhere. Could you believe that? I am not shitting you, man. One day man is going to be searching for God now. And he ain't going to be nowhere to be found. It seems like that's boy. No, the serious deal, the real deal. It says, the scripture says, seek God now while he may be found. One day, man will seek God and he will be nowhere to be found. Nowhere. It's the truth. It's the truth, man. That's a good question. That's a good question. Do I see it now? No, I don't think people. I don't think people are at that point. No, I don't see it right now. I don't. People are just looking at religion right now. It was looking worse. It was looking way worse than, But we all know the reason why religion looking the way it looks now. We all know the reason why. So right now, people are just watching it. Probably thinking we got an option. But that's not what the scriptures say. We're going to have no option. But then again, this is not the colony, and this ain't the place for that kind of shit. This is the place for the mushroom on that goddamn fucking screen there in front of you. On that mushroom. Look at the damn mushroom. That's what it's about. The mushroom. $10 a book. $10 a book.
The tabernacle was given by God to the children of Israel to serve as a pattern for a living. Every single part of the tabernacle, the way it was built, its coverings, its sacred vessels, all refer to Christ and his roles in the atonement for all sins, as the mediator for mankind and as our intercessor. When you read the book The Tabernacle from evangelist Jimmy Swaggart, you'll get a greater understanding about the Lord Jesus Christ and everything that has been fulfilled through him. To order the book The Tabernacle, call 1-800-288.
That's some misleading shit when you hear Rashid looking at Jimmy Swaggart. Look at this mother. I mean, that's some misleading ass shit. But then again, he could be a real repentant person. He could be. I mean, this is the era for sin. For some reason, you would think like people like Jim Baker and Jimmy Swaggart are not forgiven. For some reason, it's just in people's heart and mind that they're not forgiven. How do you know that Jimmy Swaggart is not forgiven? How do you know? Even though, I mean, he's very up in age. Look at the way they took advantage of Mickey Rooney before he died. He was going through abuse. How do you know what he's going through right now? And they just using him to make all his money. How do you know that's not what's going on? Do you know what's behind that iron curtain? Do you know there is more abuse going on right now than you know? How do you know it's not like that with this guy? See, you're judging, and you don't know any judging about his past sins? How do you know he's not forgiven? But when you say Jimmy Swaggart, all kind of things come in here. That's the guy who looked up and said, I have sinned against you in front of the world. How you know he wasn't serious? How you know he wasn't serious? And yet, because of merciness, he's here today still. This is his shit, his family, his sons. How do you know he wasn't forgiven right there and able to do what he's doing right now? Because forgiveness. Him and Jim Baker still in the game. Was Jim Jones forgiven? What happened to that prick? What happened to Jim Jones? How come they wind up like that? It's a lot of ways to look at things before people point. See, people love to point their finger and judge and say things. And you don't know nothing. You have no idea. You might be right, though. I'm not saying you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They might be right. We don't know the story behind Jimmy Swaggart. We don't know. We don't know, but I know he's still in the game, and he got a pretty good setup there. Pretty good setup. I don't feel right anymore. We don't feel right anymore going to these, up to par services, because they're getting too pop culture. And I know what pop culture is because I was once in it. And I'm not going nowhere. Ain't no way the Lord have something to do with no damn. I mean, oh my God. In fact, love is the identifying mark of a true Christian. And there's no love in no damn pop culture, dude. Unless they helping each other out. Unless it's fake love or whatever. There's no love in no damn pop culture. And when you serving the Lord and you're in that, then where's the identifying mark? You see, the Bible specifically bring out that God's people will be noticeable like a missing finger. God's people will be noticeable like a missing toe or your foot. People will look at them and say, you're different. You're not like nobody. That's a godly person. They will be like that. They won't blend in with the world. And that's the reason why I hover like a bee around people like Swaggart and Jim Baker and other evangelists that nobody gives a fuck about. Because I feel as though I feel something there stronger than up where people speaking well of you. People feel, hey, you're a name, we like that. I feel better with the losers. Kind of like Moses went with the losers. He left all his rich shit and went with the losers. I just feel better that way. I don't feel right with somebody who everybody say, hey, you're a hell of a guy, we like you, and shit. I don't feel right with people like that. I just don't. God's people will stick out like a sore thumb. God told his people to let your light shine, and people will see the brightness and glorify the Almighty God. Let your light shine. Let your light shine before men. See, they will stand out from the world. People will look at them and say, you're not from the world. And when you get in those fancy organizations, they're blending with the, but then again, this is all opinionated. They can have their way of looking at things. Don't forget, God said, be all things to all men. So maybe they got to blend like that just to get people to listen to the gospel. Who knows their reason? But we'll stick to our reason. They'll stick to theirs. And, but all of us can still come together and say we have a serious situation here. That's with this virus thing going on. And nobody have a really clear-cut answer. Neither do myself. But what I will say is that we expect worse. You understand that? Does everybody understand? I can't tell you anything to make you feel better. You know why? Because we believe we're in the promised land and we're in hell, and all around us is people suffering. They're in hell, and we're going to see worse. So how can I sit here and make y'all feel better when I just told y'all something that should make you feel better if you're a spiritual person. Like, okay, we do see change here, Rashid was talking about. Well, I always been seeing it on my own, or my religion always been seeing it on our own, and we do see change, so I feel better that way. And that's the only way that's going to help you survive it. We can hope for the best. You know, that's all we can do is hope for the best and pray. That's all we can do. It's better than listening to lies and being duped by lies and the stuff that don't even make sense. You know, why aren't they explaining so many things to us? I understand you don't want the public to start panicking, right, sweetie? You don't want people to start panicking. We understand that. But when you know that people know something so obvious and don't see nothing about it, Jesus, man. I mean, people not stupid here, you know. Exactly. I mean, we're not, hearing anything. They going on and on and on with stuff, and hey. But anyway, I think we talked enough, guys. Let's get out of here. We might do this again tomorrow. Y'all know the deal. And keep your head up, all right? All you can do is just watch and judge right now. Just watch what happens. Instead of jumping to conclusions, all we have is our eyes, ears, our nose, our senses, and our intelligence and reasoning. And let's stick to that instead of worrying. Worrying is a cop-out. And any mature person wouldn't fall for that. As far as I'm concerned, people look at Rashid and say, oh, Rashid full of bullshit. He talk that Christian bullshit. He's all that Islam bullshit, whatever, Allah, all of his crap. How come we can't say the same thing about them? We're saying the world going to end God's way. They're saying the world going to end man's way. They're saying we're bullshit. We got that. Spiritual people are bullshit. How come spiritual people can't look at what they're going through and say that's bullshit? That's the question. And I'll see everybody later.